I just watched a bunch of creepy ghost stories on YouTube, so now I'm all creeped out. So, to take my mind off that, I'm gonna tell you guys a story. So, when I was down in Orange County, I pretty much just had, like, shitty living situation after shitty living situation after shitty living situation. Like, everything was perfect except So, I lived with this girl and her boyfriend and their child, and I, like, slept on their couch the first, like, 2 months I was there so I could save money. It was, like, a one-bedroom, like, the fucking bathroom was, like, in the bedroom, so I, like, couldn't use the bathroom at night if I needed to. It just, like, it wasn't... Then a bunch of stuff went down. I'm not going to blast their personal business, but basically the girl and I pretty much just went and got our own apartment, that he was on the lease on still, though. And then, like, he ended up, like, moving back in with us, but, like, I didn't know that was happening, and, like, it just sucked for me. But as, like, a sign, I guess, that I shouldn't have been living there, my car broke down on me, too. And I lived, like, a half hour away from work, so I pretty much couldn't live there anymore. So I stayed with my brother, like, on his couch for, I don't know, like, a week or something. And then this lady found me on Craigslist and said she had a room for me. And my best friend, Kyla, she was coming to live with me, too. So she agreed to let us both rent that room out for, like, $500 each, which is kind of ridiculous, $1,000 for a room. But, like, it included utilities. We were kind of close to the beach, and we were like, fuck it, whatever. Like, we just took it. The fucking first morning that we lived there, I wake up to hearing this couple having sex, and I'm already like, I hate Let me, like, rewind a little bit, though. She told me that it was her husband, their daughter, and her brother, but that family is never there. That's what she said. Like, they had another house that they pretty much lived in most of the time. They're never at the Costa Mesa house. It sounded ideal, so we were like, dude, fuck yeah, like, let's do this. So anyway, I brushed it off, and I'm like, like, I guess that's the only time I have to do it. Like, it's early. I guess if you, like, work, I don't know. I don't fucking know these people's life stories. I don't really care. So she wanted to, like, hang out with Kyla and I, like, all the time, this woman. And she would, like, want us to, like, sit with her and watch her just chain smoke cigarettes and like, just drink glass after glass after glass of wine. And she was breastfeeding, and it made us, like, super uncomfortable because we were like, dude, that's not, like, okay. Then we find out from her brother, like, a week later, like, no, she's not just breastfeeding, like, she's currently pregnant, too. So then we're like, oh, my God, no. So obviously, we avoid hanging out with her as much as we can, but, like, we were still living in her house. We didn't want to, like, be jerks, so we would still hang out with her sometimes. We didn't want to, but we did. And she would, like, get weird with us, like, ask us personal questions about our sex lives and, like, put her hand on our knees and just, like, you're too close thing. Then just spills these personal details, like that she used to be a drug dealer for our cartel, and she taught her brother how to sell drugs. Husband was in prison. Like, not jail, prison. This man we live with, like, oh, thank you for telling us. And he was there for, like, a long time, according to her. So all that set aside, like, we're planning on having some people come into town. She tells us, have everybody just stay here, like, make camp in the living room. We're like, okay, cool. So we do. So she walks out in the morning, like, we're all sleeping on the couches and stuff. She's wearing a t-shirt and no underwear when we have guests over. Now, mind you, I had already had an issue with her before because she was walking around naked, and I told her that it made me feel uncomfortable, and she just, like, wouldn't stop. So anyway, friends go home, whatever, and then she's like, you know, guys, we need to talk. Like, you really just can't have random people sleeping on the couches like that. And at this point, I just wasn't taking it. Like, I was like, no, lady, like, this was your idea. And she was, like, denying it till I finally, like, proved it to her. And she was like, oh. Just like that. She goes, oh, well, I'll tell my husband that it was my idea. I just forgot because he was, like, ready to kick you guys out. And I'm like, oh, eat my ass, jerk. So then I guess, like, Kyla overheard him saying some comment like, oh, if they do that shit again, I'm just going to crack the guy in the face. Oh, I feel safe. And we would pretty much just hear them openly talking shit about us all the time after that. And we were like, dude, you guys fucking suck. Like, you're the worst people. Let's go back to the part where she said they're never there. Lies. The husband was never there. That lady never fucking left the house. She didn't have a car. She was constantly there. So what was she doing when she was there all the time? On our asses. Like, she'd wake me up to, like, knocking on my fucking door and then just opening it and coming in. Like, what? No. Always asking for favors, like, oh, Kyla, can I borrow your car? Oh, do you guys have any money I can borrow? Like, oh, that's comforting that our landlord doesn't have any fucking money. And, like, we were really good about cleaning up after ourselves, like, doing the dishes and stuff, but she constantly complained and said that we never did anything, even though I would be like, bitch, I do stuff all the time. So then around Halloween, it starts getting really bad, like, to the point where, apparently, she somehow found my father's phone number and just calls him and starts talking shit, like going off talking shit. But then telling him like, oh, I saw her Halloween costume. She spent $85. That was in my room. Like pretty much burning herself out for like rummaging through her shit when we were gone, which we already knew she was doing because she's a fucking crazy person. So then morning after Halloween, she starts bugging us for rent. It's a fucking Sunday. Like, bitch, the banks are closed. Relax. And I told her that we were leaving. And I told her, no, we're not giving you the full amount this month. Like, we're giving you $200 each and you can keep our deposit. That's it. Take her to leave it. Pretty much. And she pretty much wouldn't take it. So then I was like, okay. So that night we left and like we went to go stay at like some friend's house, like just on their couch till we figured it out. She continues calling my dad looking for me. And then she called me at work. Like I worked at a hotel and I was like, this is so beyond inappropriate. You cannot just call me at my workplace. And she goes, excuse me? And I was like, yeah, you cannot call me here. This is my workplace. Crazy. And she goes, oh, I mean, what should I do with your stuff? Like, should I just throw it in the garage? Because I'm going to start showing that room soon. And I was like, bitch, I'll be by tonight to come get it. Like, at this point, like, we're like, this lady is not getting a fucking dime from any of us. Like, she can keep our deposit and that's it. Like, you fucking maniac. Like, no. So, but I'm like, I don't know how she's going to react when she finds out we're not giving her any money. So we just call the cops, like, to come be there with us when we come to get our stuff. But, like, after, like, 10 minutes, the cops are like, oh, we're gonna go, like, this is a civil issue, like, they're gonna be cool. And I'm like, of course they're gonna tell you they're gonna be cool. You're cops. So I gave them a hard time about it, but the cops ended up just leaving. And then our other friend, like, showed up to help us, this guy. But lo and behold, this bitch, just like I knew she would, immediately starts pounding on her door, for some reason only saying my name, like, demanding to talk to me. And she's wasted. Like, why the fuck did you call the cops? Blah, blah, blah. Lindsay, I need to fucking talk to you. And I'm like, lady, you're cuckoo if you think I'm gonna come talk to you right now. Like, no. And even her, like, ex-felon or whatever, her husband is like, dude, let it fucking go. Like, just let them get their stuff and leave if they want to leave. Just drop it. She was too wasted and on a roll to drop it. So then we called the cops again, and they were, like, on their way back to us, because we were like, she's harassing us now. But it's like every time we, like, opened the door to, like, take a load of stuff out into the cars and stuff, like, she was right there and was like, Lindsay, I love you. I just want to help. And I'm like, get off. I told her, like, you don't talk shit about people like that when you love them. You don't, like, invade their personal space when you love them. Like, you don't love me. Go away. And long story short, like, she starts harassing us about, like, these ugly bowls. Like, where are my bowls? Those are from my brother that passed away. And I'm like, why would we take your bowls, you psycho? She was, like, getting real heated, like, getting in Kyla's face. When Kyla said something to her, she goes, don't make me sock you in the fucking face, Kyla. And I'm like, bitch. So then I'm like, we both were like, you know what, do it. Because your ass is going to be sleeping in jail tonight if that's the choice you want to make. So be our fucking guest, lady. So then when she realizes, though, that we did actually call the cops, like, she starts freaking out, like, I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you alone if you tell them not to come. And we're like, okay, leave us alone then. So she finally did. Like, she went into the living room with her husband and her kid, and we just, like, moved the rest of her stuff out, and we were like... And that, my friends, is the story of our crazy-ass living experience that sucked absolute donkey balls.